Hey everyone. So this week I'm doing my mandated reporting video. I've enjoyed watching everyone else's videos and kind of learning, how it works in your job, if you are a mandated reporter, if you're not, and all that. So I hope I can, add to this conversation. In New York State, my role specifically, I'm not considered a mandated reporter, but in my role as an intern, I am considered a mandated reporter, just, for the time being that I am considered an intern. So luckily, over the last 15 weeks, I haven't been put in a place to make a mandated report, but that's not to say that we haven't had plenty of contact with CPS. In there, we have a lot of contact with caseworkers because so many of the families that we work with have open cases, unfortunately. And I feel very fortunate that this one incident that I'm going to talk about is not regarding one of my families that are in temporary housing, although a lot, they do have open cases, many of them. This little boy that I was working with, I was doing a lunch group with him, with my field instructor, who is the school social worker in his building. So this is a student, he's 8 years old, a super sweet little boy. And they've had an open case for a while. CPS, like I said, the caseworker is frequently communicating with Christy, the school social worker, and mom and Christy are frequently communicating, which is good. She's really trying in some areas, and in other areas she just views them differently, and that's just how it is. So one thing in particular is she has a tendency to leave him home alone early in the morning, before he goes to school. So in her eyes, he's responsible for waking himself up, eating breakfast, getting himself dressed, getting himself to school on time. Luckily, where they live, they are right down, maybe like 2 blocks down the 2 blocks down the street from the school, but he doesn't actually have to cross any street to get to school. It's all just the same sidewalk, and there's no cross street on his side of the road. So he does not have to cross the street to get there. He just has to walk down the road, walk down the sidewalk. So knowing all of that, mom leaves and he's supposed to be responsible for all of this. And I'll remind you, he's 8 years old. So the 8-year-olds can be very independent, but that's still a lot to put on an 8-year-old. And he does know how to get to school. We've had conversations about it. Christine and him have had conversations about it. But he likes to wander in the morning. He does not like to come right to school. So many times he's been found walking in the opposite direction, walking on, streets that are many blocks away. And the only thing, his caseworker knows about this, obviously. All the school staff know, because we're supposed to be looking for him. And so the only thing the caseworker wants us to do is just call them and let them know that, he was found on this street again, he was found on this street again. He made it to school by 9:30, by 10, whatever the time may be. And, it's extremely frustrating because it feels like we're just keeping a tally of how many times this can happen. But where he lives, there's a highway that's maybe a 5-minute walk. And so I'm just terrified that he's going to be hit by a car. I mean, he's a little boy, and these streets are very busy. There's a highway going one way, and then there's a main road, even closer to him. So I feel like I'm like holding my breath, waiting for something to happen, and all CPS is doing are making tallies, marks for every morning that this happens. So that's, that is frustrating to me. But I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on this situation in particular. Like, do you think CPS should be doing more for the student? Do you think that's me just maybe overreacting to the situation? So yeah, I'm curious to hear. Thanks.